We're here today to talk about many of the challenges that we're seeing in young men and boys' lives, particularly around extreme misogyny and radicalisation, and looking at ways in which young men and boys are themselves victimised by this, recognising that this isn't about men against women, it's not about maligning boys, but it is about supporting them in a very challenging context. It's really easy for people to stick their heads in the sand and not want to talk about these issues, but then we're letting young people down. They deserve our help and support in navigating these really challenging landscapes.
Our task is not an easy one. The political and online landscape in which we operate makes having some of these debates and proposing reform in these areas challenging.
This is actually the third conference that I've been to, and after the first conference I went back to school and I said, this is probably the best PSHE conference I've ever been to. What I've found today and with the other conferences is the quality of the speakers, the calibre of what's said, the advice and the resources has just been second to none. You can come to this conference, make a whole notebook of notes and take that straight back into school.
It's so important to be part of a conference like this today. It's an honour to be here. It's absolutely brilliant that this is the third annual conference that St Dunstan's Education Group have put on to be able to have something that's so relevant for children and teachers and educators today is absolutely fantastic.
I think what I hope people will take away from today is a real belief that this conversation matters, that it's possible to effect change, to see change, and that boys in particular can be part of that change, that they're not just the problem, but also that they are part of the solution.
It's been a wonderful opportunity today to come together with like-minded professionals to discuss a really topical issue at the moment. For me, head of the junior school at St Dunstan's College, I've really taken on board and learnt to appreciate how important early dialogue on these matters really is.
St Dunstan's Education Group has always stood for making independent education have the difficult conversations. We want to be known for being progressive and forward-thinking, and we want to bring people together to have these important discussions, even when the topics are very, very challenging, because we believe that that is our mission in this sector.
What do you hope people will take away? I hope that they take away some sense of hope, because I think that the whole question around masculinity is shrouded in my experience of talking to lots of professionals in a sense that there isn't an answer to this, that boys and men will continue to behave badly towards women, and some people even feel like we shouldn't even be trying to change this because this is embedded in the DNA of men, and I think that's a real shame. I want to say there are answers. We've heard 4 different speakers today. There are a range of solutions that can be applied in school where we can make some progress.
Conferences like this, they're so important. They give us space to really spotlight things that are happening every single day that we don't always have time to slow down and really think about and unpack. So something like masculinity that we've been talking about today, this is day to day, part of all of our lives. Day brings together, colleagues from across schools, across the sector to really focus on that and unpack it, which is just brilliant.
I hope that people will take away a sense of not being alone. These are really challenging, complex topics, and of course this is the first time in history that we're dealing with many of them, compounded by the fact that it is the only point in history when we will have a generation of non-digital natives parenting and educating a generation of digital natives. So what we need is to come together, to share best practice and findings, and to support each other in exploring some of the best ways to support young people.